Mr. Amplin, and I'm the curriculum leader for sport and enrichment within Vale of York Academy. I just want to talk to you. This video is going to be directed more around the Cambridge National PE, but I have done a video on the GCSE PE. So for those people that are on GCSE PE course, please watch the other video. Those on the Cambridge National would now need to watch this video, please. So to give a bit of an overview of Cambridge National, there are three coursework modules which we will have completed by end of year 11. One's on nutrition, principles of training, and technology. We also then look at the risks of injury within sport, and that's examination based. This is what I'm going to direct a little bit more conversation about now within this PowerPoint. So within this examination, it's an hour examination, 60 marks worth on the paper, and it will look at different conditions, different injuries that might happen within sport. It will also look at how then we might be able to reduce the risk of injury, and then how we might treat that injury. Okay, those modules will be covered with myself and taught within the lesson, and it allows students then to be able to learn the key content needed for the examination. This will be twinned together with a revision guide for Cambridge National. This doesn't need to be bought at all. We have bought this revision guide in school, and we will give a copy of this revision guide to each student to have and to be able to use. And you'll see on the screen now that there's the example of a page which gives information about what we've been learning in lessons, and it has an example there of an activity that I'd ask students to go away and do for homework. This gives them a little bit of attention, a little bit of chance to be able to practice at home, but also we might use that in lessons, or we might use that just generally before they go into the examination. So this revision guide for Cambridge National won't need to be bought, but it will be given to students. To supplement that and work with that, we've also created an exam pack ourselves, which gives the key content that students need to revise. So you can see there, top right, there's a picture there all about the warm-ups and cool-downs with the key information that the students need to revise. And we then put the same on the overleaf of that page for them to be able to practice and to go back to and keep remembering the key information. These will be the mini mind maps that students will be able to use when revising for their exams. And this covers all the course that we need to do for this one examination. We've also posted every single week the work that students will be completing in class. So any student that might be missing from class, or any student that might have missed a few bits in the lesson, or might have felt they maybe didn't understand some of the content, could go back to that lesson and find that lesson on the Google Classroom, which will allow them to be able to accelerate and support their learning. There's also going to be on there some revision resources. There'll also be put on there the exam packs. So again, it's easy access. Should a student not have their pack with them, or their actual written pack, they could go and use this within actually their own Google Classroom. Other little useful tips that I'd suggest for Cambridge National students would be very similar to GCSE. We use Kahoot and Bluekit within lessons. The students really enjoy that. When they type into those two platforms, OCR PE, Cambridge National, it will give them the topics that are just specific to them. And that gives them an interactive way to be able to learn and practice some of the questions that they need to know for the exam. There's also on the Google Classroom, but also within class, and I will give students practice with this within lesson time of exam questions. And it's really important that students get used to the style of question, how to answer it, and then be able to use that knowledge, obviously, when they come to their exams. As you can see from the booklet we've created, these work really nicely for mind maps, and these are really key as students look to revise for exams, because they can use those mind maps where parents could test them. It could be that actually students test each other. It might even be that staff use students to be able to use these mind maps to be able to, as a starter of a lesson, or also just before going into the exam as a last minute revision. So they're really, really useful to use. I am available on a Friday afternoon after school for all GCSE and Cambridge National students from 3 till 4 in G40. And students are able to come along and have a go at their revision for their exams, where I can look at more bespoke questioning and ensure students are happy with the content that needs to be revised for the exams. Finally, I would highly suggest that students need to be doing an extra hour of PE revision on top of their normal weekly classes. This is a minimum expectation, really, because this allows students to be able to go away and practice what we've done within lessons. More than this will obviously be really useful and allow students to be able to really access the higher marks within the exam.